Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am making DIY stall signs. This is a very easy DIY project for your own horses or your horsey friends. All of the products used in this video are budget-friendly and fairly easy to come by. The paints I am using are acrylic paints by the brand Apple Barrel, the wood signs are from Dollar Tree, and my paintbrushes are by Royal and Langnickel. Links to the available supplies are down below in the description box. To get started with this project, I highly recommend that you also pick up some gesso. Now, at the time of filming this video, the local Walmart was sold out of gesso and art stores are closed because they are considered non-essential during this quarantine process. The purpose of using gesso is to allow surfaces that absorb paint materials to absorb the primer, allowing you to use less of your paint. This helps with the opacity of the colors as well as the clarity. But again, at the time of filming this, there just wasn't any. So to combat that, I went ahead and did double layers of paint, so 2 layers of paint. I only recorded one just for your guys' sanity, and yeah, it worked just fine. It made it very opaque, and I really love how the colors turn out in the end. And moving on from that, I also forgot to mention that I used some Master's Touch white acrylic paint. It was just something that I had laying around from old projects, so I didn't spend any money on it. However, they do have white paint in the Apple Barrel brand as well. So this is a handy little trick that I learned while doing this project, and if you struggle to take a design and transfer it onto canvas or wood, something that you can't use a light box for, then this little technique is wonderful. All you have to do is take your sketch, flip it over on the back, coat it with charcoal or graphite, and then just shake off any extra like dust, and then you tape it onto your canvas and you use either a pen or pencil to trace the letters or the design. And once you do that, you can remove that initial sketch and you will have a transfer of that design onto your canvas or wood. And I had to do this here because I knew that my handwriting is just not up to par for some kind of like a project like this. And since it meant so much to me, I knew that I needed to really make it look good. So I initially started with my my tracing paper. This is the technique you use if you don't have transfer paper or if you don't want to spend money on transfer paper, because that can get quite expensive if you're doing multiple projects. But I initially started by trying to cut out the letters using an X-Acto knife, and I realized really quick that that was going to be so time consuming and so boring. And so it got me thinking, and I found this idea here, and I looked online and I thought, I need to share this because I don't know if I had ever heard of doing this doing this before. So if you guys struggle like I do, this is a wonderful technique and it's super easy to do and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So I hope that you guys enjoy that little tidbit. Like I said, simple, easy, and free. That's my motto right now, like as cheap as we can get. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit more about the products that I used in this video and give you guys a little bit of a review. I've decided to do kind of a 5-star method for my future review videos, and so we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. First, I want to talk about the Apple Barrel paints, which I honestly think for their price at under $3 a bottle for those big bottles, a little bit goes a long way. And yes, I did have to use 2 layers of each color in order to really cover the wood. I can't really fault it for that because I didn't gesso them before, I didn't primer them. So I already knew that that was going to be an issue. I don't know if some fancy paint would have been better to just do one layer, but for just going with what we were using in this video, the apple barrel paints, I would honestly give a solid 4 stars. And that may seem a bit high, but for the price, the amount you get, the accessibility to it, just all of that makes it, in my opinion, a great paint. And it was super, super easy to work with, honestly. The only issue was covering over, like if you made a mistake with the dark color and using a lighter color, and that's always going to be an issue. But it did take more layers to fix that mistake, little touch-ups. But overall, easy to work with. Now, as for Royal and Langnickel brushes, I've been a fan of their makeup brushes since the first time I got a set, and I use them literally all the time when I'm not using my dollar store brushes. And I thought, well, let me use these paint brushes this time and see if I like them as much as makeup brushes. They're obviously on 2 different levels. They're meant for 2 different things, but in the end, you're still creating art. So I think that's kind of like nifty that they do both makeup brushes and paint brushes. But anyways, I honestly had no issues with them except for one brush had this weird, almost like half shed, but it wouldn't come out. So you see in this video here that I just trimmed the end with a pair of normal scissors, and then I went right back to painting with no issues. They didn't fray out. I was able to wash the color out, although it did stain the light colored brushes. But that's not like an issue for me. And I got these brushes out of a discount art kit that I bought at Christmas time, or well, that was bought at Christmas. I didn't buy it, but it was a discount art kit. It had multiple things in it, and the brushes and everything were by Royal and Langnickel, and I thought that was so cool. And so I've been using them for the past couple months, and honestly, just no issues with them. I enjoy them. I would give them a solid 5 stars for what I'm using, for affordable prices and easily accessible brushes. Again, you just can't go wrong. I will link the products that I can find down below in the description box, so feel free to check that out. If you use my links, they do help. It does help me out. This is something new that I'm getting into, and so I hope that you guys enjoyed this little mini review and that you found it useful. It's something new, so if you have suggestions, leave it down below. If there's something you'd like me to review or something you want to see, some kind of art challenge or fan art, anything like that, leave it down below in the comment box. That way I can try to put some more videos out that are a little more tailored to my audience. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys to watch the rest of this video. I did make 4 separate signs, and I hope that you'll stick around for the entire video. It would really help my channel out, and I honestly think that each one turned out super cool, and I'm so excited to hang them up, and I'm excited to see what my mother-in-law's reaction is to her little special present, because she's honestly done so much for me, and she's just the sweetest woman alive. And I'm just so thankful to have her as my mother-in-law. I'll leave the gush behind now. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like it, leave a comment, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss a beat. Bye.